Welcome to the iRacing British Touring Car Championship, round 23 here from Oulton Park on BSR TV. With me in the commentary box, Chris Cohen, joined by Matt Dalton. Welcome back, Matt.
Evening, Chris. Evening, everybody.
Joined in the pit lane again by Clyde Whiting.
Good evening again, everybody.
Apologies for the slight connection issues we had with the chat server during the end of the last session. Thankfully it was the end of the session and no more, but it seems to be going okay now. And we just, if you missed the last race, you missed a fantastic race in which we saw Ashley Sutton, rather, that was a good start, going from pole to flag to take a thrilling victory. But we saw Stelian Chepelevsky disconnected in the middle of the race, so no points for him, and his main championship rival Andreas Katz finished in the second position, so almost maximum points for him. And Chepelevsky is now at a disadvantage, Matt, because he's going to be starting in the 20s on the grid.
Yeah, it's a double punishment, isn't it? It just gives you a real kick when you're down. Stelian will be he'll be looking to get himself up to and around the 10th place, ready for race 3, I would say.
Absolutely, and it's going to be one to watch as well, because he is very good at coming through the field. I think most people will know that they've got nowhere near the pace that he's got further down the ranking, and they'll get out of his way, hopefully. But that first corner is always a threat.
I'm not sure the guys they want to let anybody by, so well,
that's the hope anyway. That's certainly Stelian's hope, but we'll see what happens. But Ashley Sutton will be starting on pole position for this race. But remember, whoever wins this race is going to be starting 10th on the grid this time round for round 24, so that could make a big difference. And I'm not saying anyone should attempt to finish 10th on purpose, but if you're in that 11th spot and it's the last lap, you're going to be wanting to sort of make an overtake as quickly as possible. Yeah,
you'll want to finish 10th on purpose, won't you? It's it's always a carrot for race 3, you know. It's one of the things that makes it so interesting, and there'll be a little bit of fun and games in the midfield as usual, I'm sure.
The car's now forming up on the grid. Ashley Sutton deciding to make a quick fuel change or something like that. We've lost him from the front of the grid. There he is, he's back again. So Katz is on the inside there in that eBay Motors black machine. Field doing well to come through from 6th up to 3rd in the first race, so he's the yellow and black machine on the right hand side. Ellis Stevens is the second eBay Motors in 4th position, and 5th goes to Tom Stanley. Although on my screen at least, well, we thought we'd lost Russell Laidler, didn't we? But he is 6th. Anyway, we'll sort that out later, because the lights are ready to go on here for round 23 of the iRacing British Touring Car Championship, and it's underway. The cars make their way off the line now, down towards turn 1, and it's not a very long straight down towards turn 1. Can Sutton hold it?
Oh, we've already got incidents at the back.
Sutton around the first corner.
So lucky to stay out of that.
Everybody through, although some of those guys are too wide, just about. We'll come back to that incident later. Hopefully Clyde might have an update for that just in a little while, but Sutton's held it again. Good start from Sutton. Katz through in 2nd place as we make our way down to the hairpin on the first lap. Simon Field right on the back of Andreas Katz.
One of the Airways cars just nearly came back out in front of Chepelevsky as well. Ooh, and a slow moving CQR.
Well, Sutton's got it, at least on the first lap, and everyone's quite tightly packed together. Bond has jumped up into 10th place after her 12th place finish last time around. That's Craig Ray right behind. Tim Mawson looks to have dropped a couple of places there, unfortunately. Stanley is right in the thick of things once again, coming through the chicane for the first time. Single file through there, hopefully. And
we've lost one of the UASAs as well.
And which one is that? That's
not sure, maybe Hefford, I think.
Oh, what a shame for Steve Hefford, who gets the car turned around. But let's go back and look at a little replay of that if we can. Just loose on the brakes, yeah, and just spins it round on the braking on the first lap. And there's really nowhere to go from there. He has to wait for the rest of the field to filter through. Oh, and he doesn't, and he just pulls out in front of one of those Dynojet cars. Very lucky to get away with that. But down to 20th place then for Steve Hefford, who started in 8th. And what a shame for Steve Hefford.
Yeah, real shame that on the start. I've been trying to track and monitor Chepelevsky's progress. He has done, well, You'll need a change of underwear after this race, because there's been people throwing cars at him left, right and centre there in that first lap, but he has done a miraculous job.
We've got a slow-moving Yuasa there as well on the start-finish straight. Didn't quite see who that was.
Has to be Diaz, surely.
And a Diaz it is indeed, yeah, he's dropping places rather quickly there. Has he got the car moving again? Yes, but not very quickly, so problem for Andy Diaz, not sure what that might be. Czepelewski meanwhile up to 15th position, just coming through the hairpin for the second time then. Czepelewski's going well. He does have Richard Wilde up in front of him, so those two will be looking to work through the field together, because they're both not short of pace.
Yeah, Simon Field meanwhile doing a cracking job of staying on the back of Andreas Katz and Ashley Sutton at the front here.
And Clyde, any update on the start-finish antics that we just missed off camera?
Yeah, back of the pack, Nils Jordan had a shocker of a start, just didn't seem to get away. We've got a couple of more cars involved. We had Alexander Smolensky, sorry for the pronunciation, managed to catch the back of Nils but go left. Just run the replay a little bit further.
Well, in the meantime, Robert Plumley up to 12th position there, and Adam Terry on his tail.
Dan Hunt straight into the back of Nils.
And so was all this a result of a slow start from Nils Jordan?
Yep. It certainly was. It looked like he was getting away in 5th gear. Jerome Kaiser as well, straight into the back of Dan Hunt. That's probably their race is over.
So Smolensky and Hunt are out. Jordan is just coming out of the pits now after repair, so he's back out on track. Diaz looks like he's out as well. And back to the front of the field, because Ashley Sutton is still leading this race from Andreas Katz. And might we see a repeat of last race, Matt, where Katz isn't too bothered about getting past Sutton?
I would say that probably depends on the progress of Czepelewski coming through the field, Jerry. He's I wouldn't want to be him at the moment, though. You've got a bright battle royal raging in front of him, and I think he needs to be a little bit careful.
Well, a couple wide going into the chicane.
Oh, Tim Mawson, what are you doing?
Just running over the back of Czepelewski. That's the championship leader.
He's had no luck whatsoever tonight, has he? And that was an absolute shocker. Tim Mawson left his brain in the garage before the race on that one.
And we're just watching a replay of that now, and yeah, Mawson very late on the brakes there, coming into the chicane, and I was just watching the action up in front actually, and he just catches the back of Czepelewski's car and then up and over.
Yeah. I was just saying he needs to be careful, because when you get a group of cars like that into a late braking zone like that, it's always easy to make a mistake. But I mean, you know, you've got off the track, you've got the championship leader in front of you, and you make a mistake like that and drive into the back of him. That's inexcusable, that is.
Well, that has Czepelewski's out, so that's not good news for Stelian Czepelewski. Meanwhile, side by side up at the front, Katz has got the inside line, won't get it this time round from Ashley Sutton. On lap 4 here at Oulton Park, Simon Field just dropping off the back of these two a little bit, but if they start scrapping we could see Field coming back into it. Stevens just not got the pace to match the guys at the front, but he is still in a heated battle with Tom Stanley, so Stanley not far behind that eBay Motors machine at all, and these two were pretty much nose to tail for the entirety of the first race. What's going on further down the field? Janowski is holding off Laura Bond once again, and Craig Ray looks like he wants a piece of that action. Bond
Laura
down
making
the inside.
a move here.
Not going to get it done there. Janowski's gone wide.
He went in too hot there. Well done. Good move, Laura.
Janowski's gone, and he's going to have the slowdown as well, so all these cars are going to have to file round. Luckily they're all single file, so Janowski's going to be... Oh, and Laidler was very late to notice that slow Janowski, but he managed to get around in the end. A bit of quick thinking from Rusty there, and he is currently running in 13th, and he's side by side, and that is Richard Wilde. Side by side, just shoves Richard Wilde a little bit, door to door action, but they both come out of that alright. So well, looks like Laidler's got it. Looks like Laidler's got that position from Richard Wilde. Richard Wilde won't be happy with that, Matt.
No. I don't think there's a lot of them at the middle of the pack that would be especially happy with each other after this one. There'd be some words exchanged for definite. As we said,
Wild dices both ways down the inside. Sorry, Matt, sorry to cut you up, but it's a good move from Wild there, but he just didn't have the momentum to carry it out through the corner. But let's stay with this battle for the moment, because Wild is going to be, well, wild in his attempts to overtake Laidler now.
Yeah, well, he's never exactly one to be shy usually, is he?
No, absolutely not, and that little bit of door banging there from Laidler's only going to stir Wild on to go in a little bit hotter, perhaps. We'll see what happens. Oh, very close, just late on the brakes there from Wild, but keeps it in check, and he might well have a go now down into the chicane as they're coming down the long straight where we're missing the first chicane here at Oulton Park, so...
He's going to have a look at it. Nope, decides better of it.
Just didn't have the run he needed through
Carnage in front of him, mind.
Well, Steve Richardson passed Ray. Ray's just looking. That's Laura Bond just behind, is it? No, Laura Bond's already left that.
Still in front.
That's Adam Terry. So what's going on behind here? Rusty's managed to get down the outside of Adam Terry. Wild's going to try and follow through here, and it's too wide again for Laidler. Just gets in front of Adam Terry, and it looks like that might have been a little bit of a mistake from Richardson that might have led up to that. But he's still leading this pack, or maybe that was Ray that. I should say Rie. We've been pronouncing his name all wrong all this time, but never mind. So nose to tail, look at the action here. Oh, Wild's going down the outside of Adam Terry here, trying to follow Russell Laidler. And Laidler's going to go too wide with Rie as well.
Are you sure that's right?
He told me himself, so I'm fairly sure.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
he would know, yeah. Just picking up something Clyde mentioned earlier on, Nick McCarron looking smooth. He's having a good run here in P6, looking very good tonight. And these guys are all on a similar pace, and Laura Bond behind him doing an absolutely cracking job in this race.
Laura Bond up to 7th. That's the Bianco of Adam Terry on your screen, not Laura Bond. Laidler leads this little pack down into the hairpin once again in that orange CQR Phantom machine. Steve Richardson hopefully won't end up as a roadblock to these guys, because some of the guys behind are a little bit faster. Laidler's looking to pull away a little bit now from Craig Rie, and he's just ahead of Richard Wild at the minute. So Richard Wild's dropped off the back of Laidler. Wild having a look down into the chicane, but not close enough again. And Rie's gone very wide there, and he's going to drop off. That's a shame. He's just missed that chicane there, so he's going to be shedding a few of those places. At the front, meanwhile, Sutton still leads from Andreas Katz, but Katz is giving him a good run for his money. About halfway through round 23 here now from Oulton Park in the iRacing British Touring Car Championship.
It's all coming up Andreas Katz this evening, isn't it? It's he'll be quite happy. I don't think he'll be wanting to push at all. As we said, you know, Ashley Sutton is doing well in the race, there's no question in that, but Katz, his nearest championship rival, has been punted and had internet issues. He will be quite happy to sit in second.
And it will be interesting to see now if Russell Laidler can catch up with Steve Richardson in the eBay Motors Kia Optima just in front of him. He has been fast, Laidler, in qualifying, and did have a good first race, but we didn't see what happened, but he dropped a number of places. So we're just watching him recover through the field now. Where is Chapelewski? He's down in 20th place after that rear ending that he got from Tim Mawson. And like you say, he's not going to be very happy with that.
No. And deservedly so. I mean, I know Tim. Tim's a nice guy. He's not going to have done that intentionally, but still, you know. You at this stage in the season, if you take out a championship leader, you're gonna get the balls on the barbecue treatment, aren't you?
You're not wrong there. And Stephen Hefford, sorry to say, has retired from the race. Perhaps we can hear from Clyde as well on what happened to Hefford, because we didn't see him drop off. Meanwhile, Adam Terry is still shedding.
No,
he's
Adam
in the
Terry's
chicane.
just stuffed it in the tyres. I think he's glitched. He's stuck there as well.
Well, let's have a look back on the replay and see what's happened to him there. And yeah, just didn't turn in enough, and he's well and truly embedded in those tyres. Wow, Adam Terry, another person who's very high up in the championship, who's fallen by the wayside in this race.
Yeah, Adam Terry, of course, probably only lost last year's championship, you could argue, due to bad luck as well in the last race. And
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
him and Ellis this season have not quite got it together, but Ellis having a cracking run tonight. He's, what, 4th place again, nice and comfortable. He's having a great run. Simon Field doing a brilliant job trying to stay as close as he can to the first two.
And we just saw Richard Wilde go side by side with Russell Laidler, taking that 10th place. Laidler not making the progress on Richardson that Wilde decided was mandatory, and is going to have a go at him himself, I'm sure. So Laidler down to 11th place now. What a shame for Adam Terry. Any update on Stephen Hefford, Clyde?
Yeah, Stephen Hefford looked a bit of a strange one. Just looked like a disconnect.
Well, it's a real shame for him, because he was running very well. He finished 8th in the last race as well.
Yeah, 1 minute he was there, the next minute he was gone.
So, new boy Nico Brandt in the Bianco is running in 14th place, just behind Scott Malcolm here. He probably has the pace to take the Scotsman, and we'll just see if he can do this down the straight now. He's going to have to get in that draft and pull out late to break into the chicane.
Yeah, he's had some bad luck in the first 2 races this evening as well, hasn't he? He got caught up in that lap 1 incident. And
well, with so many cars on the track. Oh, and he's tried to go down the inside. Malcolm's given him absolutely no room there, and racing incident perhaps there, but Brandt's going to have to take it a little bit easier there to try and get his way past Malcolm safely. He's dropped maybe a half a second as a result of that. And these guys have some lap traffic behind them. I believe that's Eckhart von Glan, so he's a lap down. So that's not going to be for position for Eckhart, who's still blinking in and out, unfortunately. The leaders in this pack here, at least, are separated from the rest of the field. Simon Field in 3rd position, Ellis Stevens in 4th, Tom Stanley 5th, Nick McCarron 6th, Laura Bond 7th, and Robert Plumley is in 8th position. And those guys are all, they're all separated by quite a margin on the track. Richard Wilde looking to have a go at Steve Richardson to take that 9th place it will be. So that'll be
that's the crucial battle really at the moment, isn't it? It's that's effectively the battle for pole position in race 3.
Oh, very close through the kink into the hairpin. Not a great overtaking opportunity unless you can get on the inside into that corner. Russell Laidler is latched onto the back of this group, aware that 9th place is up for grabs should either of these drivers make a slight mistake. So this is probably the most thrilling battle on the track right now.
Well, he's going to be, if he, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, that 10th place is all important, and Russell Laidler there is going to be left out like the geeky kid with spectacles at the Christmas prom if he's not careful, isn't he? He's not going to want to be sat in 11th at the end of this, because 11th is 11th, and that's everybody else will be on pole.
Well, Diaz out as well, and Smolensky. Were they involved in that first lap, first straight melee?
Smolensky definitely was. Diaz wasn't.
So we saw Diaz going slowly earlier and we couldn't quite figure out why. Oh, Plumley's off. Plumley has gone, sorry Clyde, he's gone off onto the final corner, and he's going to drop 3 positions there, because will Laidler get him as well? I don't know if he will. Well, 2 wide now. Laidler's got the inside line. Plumley's going to have to let that one go. Richard Wilde having a sneaky look down the inside of Steve Richardson into the first corner, and what a disaster for Plumley. He's out of the top 10 now. He was running 8th.
And like you said, Plumley now in the bridesmaid position. He's not going to want to be there either. These 3 all over each other, like, well, I mean, they're just giving each other a proper kick in, aren't they?
And that just behind them as well. There's a Bianco car right there, and that's Nico Brandt. So there's a 5-car battle here with 3 laps to go at Oulton Park, and they're all squabbling over 8th position effectively. And
no,
the
that's
top 10
Adam Terry.
That's Adam Terry,
down.
my mistake. So Nico Brandt is running in the Bianco colours, but in a different position on the track. So Richardson doing well to hold on, you have to say here, especially with the pace of Richard Wilde behind him.
And the overtaking threat that is Richard Wilde as well. I mean, he's as we've seen before, he's not one of the guys who is all that content to sit behind you. If he sees half a gap, he's going to go for it.
Although we've seen him very reluctant to overtake on the way into the chicane, and he's got a better run than Richardson just coming round to the double apex right-hander. But oh, and he's side by side, he's taken it. So it looks like Richardson might have just let him go there, knowing that
Steve, given where the guys behind him are, it's a very smart move. Just let him go. Make sure you hold your position. Don't do anything crazy. Laidler go in for an inside line.
There was
Steve
no room
squeezed in
there.
pretty hard. He squeezed in pretty hard and pretty late there. That's
Well, it was a collision avoidance manoeuvre from Richardson, just taking that line away from Laidler, because there was just not the run into that corner there. But Laidler's going to be looking for a way around Richardson. Even if Richardson drops one position, he's still going to be near the front of the grid for the third race. But Plumley is the loser at the moment. So Robert Plumley will finish 11th if things stay as they are.
I think this is going to end in tears.
Steve's
Richardson's gone wide.
Oh, disaster for Steve Richardson. With only 2 laps to go, he's dropped down to the 11th position now. Plumley's jumped him to 10th, so that could have been the front row of the grid out of the window for Steve Richardson. What a desperately sad mistake.
Yeah, I wonder if that front end damage hasn't just taken its toll a little bit. And oh well, Steve gets the glasses case at the end of this race.
Well, meanwhile, up at the front of the grid, at the pack rather, Ashley Sutton still leading this race from Andreas Katz. These two haven't moved. Katz is still half a second off, and you know, my money's on Katz just staying behind, keeping it calm. He knows Chepolewski is down in. He's managed to make it back to 18th now, but he's out of the point still. So Katz is going to be taking home, well, from the first 2 races, more than a 30-point advantage.
That's huge, isn't it? How many races we got to go in the championship?
Well, after this evening we'll have 6 more races, so two more meets, if you like. They are Silverstone and Brands Hatch.
I see. This might well be the decisive moment here. I think this that could be a gap that's very difficult to pull back.
Especially because there's very little between any of these guys. Those two have been battling for the top position all season. As they come onto the last lap now, Ashley Sutton with a commanding lead, looking after his tyres well once again. Looks to have no real threat from Andreas Katz, so he's looking like he's going to take his 2nd race of the evening. And this is what we often see here in the British Touring Car Champions, isn't it? The first 2 races are taken by a single driver, and then the third race is pretty much anyone's.
Yep. I would expect it's going to be different here, the same year tonight. Steve Richardson will be absolutely gutted in 11th place. I mean, like, as we said, that's the bridesmaid spot in the one that no one's going to want to finish in. Plumley doing well though. I mean, Plumley and Laidler are still having a good little scrap there. There's always the chance they may take each other out.
So Plumley's quite about a second off the back of Laidler, so barring a mistake, Laidler should take 9th position, but that's going to give reverse grid pole to none other than the BSR TV car of Robert Plumley. It's been a while since we've seen a BSR TV car on pole, Matt.
Yep, that's going to be a beautiful sight, that one.
We'll keep an eye on that in the 3rd race, but coming up to the finish line now is Ashley Sutton. Just takes it easy over the line, a solid win again. Katz is not going to challenge for that 1st position, but just follows him over the line there. Field home in 3rd. Great drive from Field again. We didn't talk about him much, but
no, that's a really good drive. That's a really good drive from Simon. Toss up for drive of the night between that and Laura finishing 7th there, and going to give Laura the big way, hey?
6th place Nick McCarron. These positions are wrong on the screen, unfortunately. It's showing as 5th, but that's 7th for Laura Bond. Not really sure what's going on this evening with all that kind of stuff. Richard Wilde comes home in 8th place. Laidler 9th, Plumley 10th, Stevenson misses out on that reverse grid pole. That's not 9th that you see on your screen. I don't know what's going on with the timing at the end of the race, but he's finished 11th there. In view of the fact that the timing is messed up at the end of the race, we'll have a go at the results, but I don't know. No, the ones on the screen are correct anyway, so we'll go by those. Sutton takes the 2nd win of the evening in great style, you have to say. But just give us another rundown, Clyde, of that first straight incident, shall we say?
Yeah, as I said, Nils he didn't get away. Whether he got a lot of wheel spin, whether he was in the wrong gear, and there was people flying left and right to avoid him. Dan Hunt unfortunately didn't avoid him and piled straight into the back. Somebody then piled straight into the back of Dan, and there was a lot of races over before it even started.
Well, that is a shame, because we lost Dan Hunt, we lost Alexander Smolenski, we probably lost Ander Diaz in that as well. Jordan finishing.
Ander Diaz was a weird one. He pulled into the pits at the end of lap 2. I don't know, call of nature maybe?
Well, it could have been. He's not available for comment. But one
Yeah,
man
he's been discussing an incident with Eckhart von Glan, so I think there was possibly a little bit of contact there, and he may have picked up some damage.
Well, maybe we can get the lowdown on that a bit later in the evening. But meanwhile, one man who is available for comment, hopefully, is Russell Laidler, who finished in the 9th position in that last race. Hello, Russell.
Evening, how's it going, guys?
Well, it's going very well for us, but it's going even better for you, isn't it? 2 solid finishes there.
Yeah, well, that one could have been a lot better. I was actually aiming for a top 5. I got the 5th place in turn 1, but I had I got a slow down up from the first corner, being squeezed off. Dropped down to about 20th, and how I got back to 9th was just, I don't know.
Well,
I just wasn't messing about. I thought, right, that's it. I'm putting my foot down and I'm not backing off.
well, I thought there'd be hell to pay, when you took that position away from Richard Wilde. A little bit of door banging?
Yeah, see, I always try and leave people as much room as I can, and I did. I tried to give as much room, and I think I just clipped the curb on the inside, and I felt the back end squirm over, and I was like, I'm not going to be very popular for this one.
Well, you both came out of that okay, and Wilde just pipped you at the post, but he's a tough cookie.
Yeah, I think he might have his comeuppance this next race. I have a feeling that maybe severances might be repaid, but hey ho, these things happen, don't they?
Well, we'll have to see in the 3rd race, because you're starting 2nd on the grid, and you'll be on the inside, and you'll just be behind Robert Plumley there. Have you raced against him much?
Only recently, but he seems to be very solid. He's always there. Doesn't really seem to make any mistakes, and he's proven to be very versatile. Different types of tracks, and it doesn't seem to faze him. He's always, he's just going to go further forwards. If he, more practice and time, he's, as everything, it picks up and goes forwards.
And are you hoping to keep a top 5 position at the end of this last race?
Yeah, I'd feel a bit bad if I didn't kind of make up for race 2, but I've got a lot of fast guys behind me, and the only good thing I've got really is Oulton's one of my favourite tracks.
Well, you've got that going for you, and you've got the momentum going for you the last 2 races, so best of luck in the 3rd race.
Thank you very much. Have fun, guys.
That's Russell Laidler for CQR Fanta. Just wondering now if we can get a word with, if we can, with man of the moment, Tom Stanley, because, are you there, Tom?
Yes, I am. Hello, Chris.
Hello, welcome to BSR TV, and you are on fire this evening. 2 5th place finishes, outstanding performance so far.
Yeah, I was. I think I got 7th or 8th in qualifying and managed to avoid all the first kind of incidents on the first race. So I did a really good job there. Battling with Alice could have been a 4th, but it's no time for that. But I could have had 4th, but I just made a few more mistakes in that race. Maybe different weather, but it was a lot of fun.
And Ellis Stevens, last season's champion, of course, not an easy man to pass, is he?
Oh no, I personally, if I want to pass someone, I want to be beside him. I never really take any diving lunges at them. I don't want to ruin their race as bad as mine. So I just try and take it easy. If I can pass someone, I'll pass someone.
And you're going to be starting in 6th position on the grid in the last race. So you're going to have in front of you Laura Bond, Richard Wilde, Russell Laidler and Robert Plumley. Any of those coming to your firing line, hoping to get past some of those?
Hopefully I can get past some of those before the other fast guys behind me get past me. So yeah, another 5th place would be great. Anything 5th and higher, that would be a great race result, really.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing how that one pans out. So best of luck. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Tom.
There's Tom Stanley there for Drive Cool, and we've got one more race in store this evening. We are currently going to be bringing you that one in about 10 minutes time, and the reverse grid is going to be fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, there's some high-profile casualties this evening who are going to be looking to make up some time. Lots of people not winning popularity contests all over the place. It's going to be interesting to see what happens race 3.
Robert Plumley, Clyde. He's unproven in this series, but has gone from strength to strength. Do you think he could possibly hold on and win this one?
I'm not sure he can win. He's a very, very steady driver, and as was picked up there, he doesn't make mistakes, but he's got some really fast people behind him. I'm interested to see what Andreas is going to do. Starting 9th, Does he go for the points? Does he just go for a top 10 finish? It's going to be a difficult one to call. There's only Andreas and Simon that, from the start of the meeting in the top 5, that have scored big points so far. If Simon gets away, he can pull some back on Andreas. Does Andreas go for the win? It's going to be a good race.
Well, all I can say is we don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. Round 24 from Oulton Park in the iRacing British Touring Car Championship, if I can say it right, is coming in about 10 minutes time. So if you're watching on Twitch, stay where you are. It will retune for you automatically. And if you're watching on YouTube, just advance the video to the next one. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.